Hello there, Starscreen back, and I've got to come clean from the beginning of this. I promised I would do a Virtua Fighter 5 review. Yes, you know, that game that I really like, nobody else seems to, but it was requested. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. We won't talk about that, will we? No. Needless to say, I'm in the process of trying to get another one. I just really don't feel like spending out on it, but I tried to do this little tricky on it here. These, look. Doesn't work. You take these off and replace it with those little bolts, still doesn't flipping work. I give up, so I'm going to get a new one. So, it's going to be a Transformer review this time, for those of you who are interested, and for those of you that aren't, tough. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, there's no prizes for guessing, really, so I should just get on with it, shouldn't I? Beast Machines Optimus Primal. Now, there's a few variants of this toy, but I'll just talk about the story a little bit, because Optimus Primal in Beast Machines is very different to Beast Wars Optimus Primal. Let's go down the detail of how they arrived there very quickly. Beast Machines takes off from Beast Wars. If you remember at the end of Beast Wars, you see Megatron in it, don't you? They tie him up or something, and there's a missed scene from the last episode of Beast Wars where Megatron is tied to the top of the ship, so that's where he goes. He doesn't just leave him behind, Optimus Prime, he takes him with him, and that's the part that's missing. You find out later on in Beast Machines, there's a flashback, Megatron manages to get ahead of them, takes over Cybertron, and they arrive, and he's changed the whole planet. So when Beast Machines start, he looks like Optimus Prime did in Beast Wars, Optimus Primal I should say. Before I go on, I know I'm going to keep saying Optimus Prime when I really mean Optimus Primal, so don't keep picking me up. I know I'm going to do it, and that's that. So, eventually he gets himself formatted, because they can't transform anymore, so they have to be reformatted, and then they have to feel themselves transform. They don't just go, Autobots, transform! And they transform, they have to feel the transformation. Sounds weird, doesn't it? That's because it is, so there. And this is the first incarnation, or it appears, of him. Now, this toy is utterly abhorrent. He's nothing like him at all, and little blue monkey boy doesn't look anything like him either. He's the wrong colour. His facial moulding isn't particularly great, and he's just downright gross. He reminds me of another toy line with these, you know, transparent joints here and the way the ball joints flick around. Not a great toy, actually. Not very impressed by him. In actual fact, he's a horrible version of Optimus Primal. So, out of all of them, I would steer clear of this one because he's just a bit of a rubbish toy. Alright. Anyway. La! Where did my voice go? Oh, you're cheering now, aren't you? Well, I got it back. So, yeah, so that's one incarnation of Beast Machines, Optimus Primal. So we get another one here. This is Punch Blast Optimus Primal. Much more reminiscent of the toy counterpart. Now, later on in the show, Optimus Prime starts going slightly mad, because he's trying to communicate, well, he does communicate with the Oracle, because the Oracle wants to get a perfect balance between organic and technological components, so it'd be techno-organics. Sounds quite good, actually, doesn't it? It's not as good as it sounds, though. Anyway, Optimus Primal, I almost fell there for my own joke. Optimus Primal tries to control what's going on around him, and he absorbs all the energy and gets blown up, and the Oracle brings him back to life again, and now he has a great new understanding of what's going on. Like I said, a perfect balance between organic and technological. So this is kind of the goal that Optimus Prime was trying to achieve. In the meantime, the battle between the Maximals and the Vehicons is not going particularly well. Prime seems to be completely obsessed about the Oracle and the organic side of it, where the others are just trying to stay alive. So he keeps going into trances, and Rhinox tricks him to thinking that he's seeing a vision, and he's not, because Rhinox by this point is Tankor and he's nasty, because he's put into a vehicle drone counterpart. It allows Rhinox's dark side to come out. You saw it in one episode, and that's pretty much how Rhinox continues. He's got a real bad way about him, and I ain't joking. So that's the story so far. Anyway, this is Punch Blast Optimus Primal. Much better, much better, much more accurate to the show. His arms are a bit big and they don't bend in the middle, which I find frustrating, so I want to scratch my nose. God, can't scratch my nose! So, no, he can't, because his arm don't bend in the middle. Never mind. Other than, I don't like the Punch Blast action thing. How does it work? Now, it's been a long time, actually. There we go, see? Now, look at that, see? It's crap. Punch Blast now! Hey, don't stand so far away, I can't reach. But yeah, that's kind of the general gist of it. But other than that, facial moulding is spot on. And if I recall, I think he fires little frisbees out, does he? No, he doesn't fire frisbees out, I'm wrong, so I'll take that back. And he has his little rocket pack at the back here, you know, like he does in the show, kind of handy. So this is essentially as good as you would think Optimus Primal is going to get. He's about the right size in comparison to the other toys. The colour scheme's not bad, not too keen on the transparent parts here again, but you know, it's going to split hairs about it, there's no point. And they don't really have any light piping because that wasn't the Beast Wars or Beast Machines thing, which, you know, that really would have been nice. But hey ho, you can't have everything, can you? Also, you think. You ready for it? Yeah! Big Optimus Primal. Because he's not actually from that toy line, he's from Rid. Now, the story goes that Optimus Primal, I think it travels forwards or into the past. I would suggest it's in the past, but it might be forwards, to help rid Optimus Prime with some tough decisions because he's got experience in that kind of thing. Just finish off the story of Beast Machines very, very, very quickly. At the end, Optimus Prime and Megatron have a fight, and Prime sacrifices them, him and Megatron that is, into the Earth's core, so Cybertron I think has the right amount of power, or the couple of sparks it needed to reformat it into a techno-organic world. And gotta say, Beast Machines was not a fan favourite. It was quite dark, the characters changed a lot, so if you're expecting similarities between them and the previous kind, there wasn't a lot to go on. More namesake than anything. But that said, I loved the development of them. The show, as I said, was very good. Only a short one-season show. I liked it a lot. And if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it, but probably more for the die-hard Transformer fans. So if you're watching this, you probably are. So then, in that case, I recommend seeing it. Now, as I said, he's out of Rid. Now, let's take a quick look at this guy. He's quite big to get on camera, isn't he? But he's a great toy, and he transforms perfectly. Now, this is the one that has the frisbees. Now, at the back here is, you see here, is the vocal unit. Now, that happens when you do that. What is that? Now, if anybody can work out what that sound is meant to be, tell me. Post it, you know, answers on a postcard. Or mail me. Mail me, yeah, letter. Letter'd be nice. Postcards are getting boring now, I get tons of those. So just send me a letter, that's a lot better. So, I think he speaks if I recall. Come on, speak. No! Exactly what I feel. It's right there.
Maximized! The seeds of the future lie buried in the past. Maximized! The seeds of the future.
Now, that's essentially all he says through the show. No wonder he goes mad, because every time he stops saying an irritating sound. Stop it. Yeah, that's pretty good, look at that. And that sound is still going on. Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, this toy's brilliant. I'm not quite sure how much he is to get hold of. I have got to say he's got a similar problem to the other one. Want to scratch my nose? Let me scratch my nose. He could do it though, look, because his arm pivots like this. It doesn't go like that, but he can go like that. So yes, he can. Look. Look at that. Now that's the business. And his hands are very good in here, look. Each finger is individual and articulate, see? Look at that. That's brilliant. I love it when they do that with these toys. He's only got one thing to say to everyone out there. Oi! Prime, don't do that, mate. But yes, both hands are fully articulate as well. Isn't just one and the other one's sort of like a plastic transparent one which doesn't do anything. They're both exactly the same. It's great. The toy poses very nicely. The colour scheme is spot on. Said it's rather large. It poses very nicely with other toys. Unfortunately not with Beast Machines toys. Because you know, it's a problem with Beast Machines toys is they were never to scale. Punch Blast Optimus Primal wasn't bad, but then you got stuff like Night Scream, is it? Yep, and Jetstorm and Silverbolt, who's that big, where Black Arachne's like that big, so what's going on? So I'm not quite sure what they were thinking, but I think they were trying to rush the toy line because the show wasn't doing well. So they just wanted to get it done and dusted. And I suppose you're lucky you got variations of the toys at all. So we had to wait for Rid to get a really good Optimus Primal, even though saying that, Punch Blast Optimus Primal isn't bad. This is just a whole lot better. And it does keep making those annoying noises, I'm not quite sure why. As chest thing goes round and rotates, well, I'm sure that's to do with the transfer. That's the most annoying noise I think I've ever heard. And it never ends. Anyway, so this is what his beast head looks like. Quite entertaining, looks quite funny, doesn't it? Long-headed monkey. Now look, this is quite good too. Oh, and you know I mentioned about the little frisbee things? Well, here they are. Let's just give them a try, shall we? Did you see that? Did you see that? It's rubbish. You missed nothing. But that's it. It's a great toy, apart from its obvious faults where it keeps making those stupid noises. The transformation of this toy is really funny, and I've just got to show you something that's... It's wrong on so many levels, but I just can't help myself. Monkey's got a red ass! I'm not quite sure what's going on with that one, but I don't ask questions that I do not want to know the answer to. Live in ignorance. It's the best way. Okay, so that's me. That's Starscream with a little review of Optimus Primal. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you haven't got any of these guys, don't get the blue one. He's rubbish. Get the other two. Okay, so that's me. That's Starscream saying take care, guys, and see you lot out there.